Hola mis amigos, bienvenidos a Casa Pequeña or Casa Tiny. We are located in Puerto Escondido today, and this is a 2-story, 100 square foot minimalist tiny home deep in the jungle. It comes with its own private pool and is right across the street from a beach. So let's now go and start the full tour. To start the tour, we are going to park our vehicle and begin to walk down this long, windy path through the jungle to your tiny house. The owners have a good chunk of land out here in Mexico. We're now finally going to round this last corner, and here is your first peek of the home. It's much taller than I expected upon first glance. The location of this Airbnb is really prime, deep in the jungle and very secluded, and yet you can walk right down the street to some incredible restaurants or of course the beach. And the minimalist architecture that you're seeing right now was actually all inspired by the book Walden by the author Henry David Thoreau. The book discusses simple living in a natural environment, which is definitely exemplified by this tiny home. Now, focusing on the home itself and the front exterior, actually part of the kitchen countertop comes all the way out to the exterior. You also have those 2 chairs and 2 stools and this comfortable hammock. We'll now switch gears to look at this other side of the property. And if you look there on the left, we'll come now to our completely private pool. Again, totally private just to you, not shared with any other guests or nearby neighbors. And from this angle, it feels like it belongs in some architecture magazine to me or something. Really, really gorgeous. I just love the jungle vibes. You just simply do not get this in the States where I'm from. There's also some lights that turn on later at night, and they clean this pool every single day because we are, yes, indeed, in the jungle. It's also pretty sizable. I'm standing on top of it right now to give some perspective. It's quite large, and you have this really nice outdoor shower for an added touch. I'll quickly point this out, but on the other side of the property, they actually have a brick oven, which can be used to make pizza. I didn't have any time to make pizza for you guys, but here is me twirling around the tray and looking really silly. Last but not least, for the exterior, again, I just have to point out the beautiful beach some more. It's just a 2-minute walk from this Airbnb. And again, we're in the area called Puerto Escondido in Mexico. I strongly prefer it over the more popular destinations like Tulum or Cancun. It has much more of a local feel to it. The beaches are gorgeous and not overrun with tourists. There's just a lot of raw and untapped beauty like this. This is one of my favorite drone shots I've gotten in quite some time. That will complete the exterior tour. So now actually back at the front exterior, I'm going to open up these large double doors and let's check out the interior. Welcome inside to Casa Tiny. Quite minimalist, I know, but it's just so different from some of the other Airbnbs that I've showcased lately here on the channel. It definitely gave me a greater appreciation for architecture, which was actually one of my first ever career interests. Well, now let's start first in the kitchen. Again, this kitchen countertop is so long, it extends all the way out to the exterior, so you have a ton of space. And despite the size of this home, you still have key kitchen amenities like 2 burners and a stovetop. And then down below, other kitchen supplies like a blender, all of your bowls, and your pots and pans and glasses. You still have everything you need. Looking to the right of the kitchen now, in that corner, you have a small collection of books and a few other items in that basket waiting for you. But by far the most important book, again, is Walden by Henry David Thoreau, the one that inspired this entire tiny home. There's also some other things like a nice Bluetooth speaker. But if I pull back this door, it reveals a small fridge and freezer. This was very much needed because I visited in June in Mexico, so it can be quite hot and humid out. I was able to put all of my waters in here and to chill a nice bottle of white wine. I want to point this out very quickly, but this home technically has 2 entrances. The large double doors that we saw on the front exterior, or this door closer to the pool, takes you into the kitchen. Now that we've covered a good chunk of this main floor, we're going to look in this direction. This is back towards the fridge and freezer and the stairs that eventually will lead up to the bedroom area. We're going to save that for last because it's one of my favorite areas. But for now, we're going to look more towards the left. You'll see this little hallway there. So I'm going to begin to walk in that direction. Let's finally head on down. And once we finally round the corner, you'll notice we are in your large and very spacious bathroom area. There's a lot to see. As soon as you enter, you'll notice your minimalist sink there on the right hand side. Again, I just really loved how simple everything is in this tiny home. Looking in the opposite direction, this is back towards where we entered from the kitchen. You'll notice all the natural light streaming in perfectly later in the day. Now, along that same wall, there's also a large bench you can use to maybe put your shoes on or just to get ready for the day. There's a bunch of towels for both the bathroom and the pool as well, and 2 hats, or I'm going to call them sombreros, which you can use to take some cool photos with by the pool. To begin to wrap up in the bathroom, if we look there on the far end and go through that door on the left, this will take you into where the toilet is. So yes, even though we are deep in the jungle, we still have the necessities like plumbing and a toilet. Now at the far end of the bathroom in this final corner, you also have your shower. It's quite spacious and the water pressure was surprisingly really great. There's also this door on the left hand side which you can open up to have a nice outdoor shower for just the ultimate jungle experience. That will complete our tour of the first floor, which included the kitchen and the bathroom. This tiny home is a little over 100 square feet total, and we still have the second floor to go up and check out. But one of my favorite aspects of the interior was actually just the staircase. It really stuck out to me and caught my eye, but looking at it closer, just be very careful when you walk up and down it. There are no railings, so please watch your step if you book this place. Now up top on the second floor, this is obviously your sleeping area or bedroom. There's a couple of key features I want to point out, starting first with these sliding windows that go all the way down this wall. Definitely suggest closing these later in the day when it gets to be super hot out, or to keep the insects out when you're about to go to bed. More on the insects factor later. This mattress though is actually surprisingly very comfortable. As you can see, yes, again, very minimalist, not much of a bed frame. You're basically sleeping right on top of the floor. It was actually a pretty cool feeling. Never seen a bed like this at another Airbnb, and there are fans on either side of the bed and a couple of night lights. In terms of insects, I really had no issues during the day. When you're ready to go to sleep, you're going to want to grab this bag and open it up. Find this large net that you can put around your bed to protect yourself from bug bites. Last but certainly not least, I want to point out the amazing view from the windows behind the bed. I actually flew my drone in and out of the home for this shot. You can see how close the trees are to this home. Still a very minimal footprint for this tiny house in the jungle. But imagine waking up to this every single morning. Here is your incredible view. There's green trees everywhere. On one side of the home and the property, you have the beach. And on the other end, you have this gorgeous view in the mountains of Mexico there in the background. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will see you very soon for a brand new Airbnb tour.